Hi, I'm Megan and I'm a baby wearing educator. Today I'm going to teach you pocket wrap cross carry, and I'm going to use a stretchy wrap or a hybrid wrap. Before we get started, it's useful to remember your ABCs. So air is for airway. You want to make sure that your baby maintains a free airway. That way there's no obstructions, no fabric over their face, and that their chin is not on their chest. That doesn't mean your baby needs to be like this. Just about 2 fingers between chin and chest, same as most bouncers, cribs, etc. require. B stands for, let's see if that's better. Definitely not. Okay. B stands for body positioning. So it's important that your carrier is holding your baby's body. You don't want to drop your baby. You want to be supporting your baby, connected to you, and in their natural position. So if your baby doesn't have head, neck, trunk control, you want to make sure that you're supporting those areas since your baby isn't able to do that with their muscles. And third is C, comfort. You want to ensure that both you and your baby are comfortable while you are baby wearing. Normally your baby will tell you, and normally you'll tell us if you're having any back, neck, etc. pain. So for pocket wrap cross carry, I'm going to use a stretchy wrap. There's a multitude of stretchy wraps out there. Boba, Moby wrap, Solly baby, Happy baby, others that I'm forgetting. Today I'm going to actually teach with a Rhapsody hybrid. Oh, hi cow dog. I like teaching with this wrap because it has 3 different colors, which will make it easier as we're talking about it. So when you use a stretchy wrap, they'll almost always have some sort of tag. That's going to be your middle marker, and it's going to be on the center of your wrap when you're talking about the long length of it. Then each wrap will have tails, one at either end. So I have the end of my wrap over here. This is one of my tails, and the end of my wrap over here. This is one of my tails. Conveniently, they're color-coded. And then you'll also have 2 rails or seams, and so at the top and bottom of my wrap I have a seam that runs the whole length. So when we're talking about using your rails and tightening, that's just talking about tightening through the fabric. So I might tighten across my top rail, my bottom rail, or anywhere in the middle. Okay, so what is pocket wrap cross carry? Pocket wrap cross carry is a poppable carry. If you have a brand specific product, you might have seen Hug Hold. You could do it with a woven, you can do it with a stretchy, but it's pre-tied. So you're going to tie it to your body before you even pick up your baby. We're going to talk about how you guesstimate what size space you need for your baby to make sure that it's going to be snug and secure on them. And then you can end up just popping your baby in and out. So like as we head into fall, this is a great option to tie on your body, stick your coat on, drive to the store. When you get there, unzip your coat, take your baby out of their car seat, and pop them right into the wrap that's already wrapped to your body. People often find it handy if they're going to be somewhere where they don't want their tails on the ground, or if you have a child who wants up and down, that you don't have to retie. You can just pop them in and out. So with a stretchy wrap, you're going to feel like you tied it too tight. That happens. It's never going to be too tight. Your wrap's going to have some stretch and give to it. And so what you're going to end up doing is figuring out what's comfortable to you both and wrap to that snugness. But more often people will wrap too loose and they'll find it saggy, and the biggest solution to that is simply wrapping tighter. So I'm going to start with the middle marker, that tag that I talked about, and I'm going to put it right on my chest. That's where I'm going to end up having this. And then I'm going to use the tails that we talked about, either side, one green and one blue, and I'm going to wrap them around my body and bring them as an X over my shoulders. So middle marker, that wrap, it might have to be purple, and I'm going to turn around. One side up over my shoulder, all the way to the tail. Other side up over my shoulder, all the way to the tail. So now I have the middle part of my wrap where that middle marker is. That happens to be purple, very clearly on the middle of my body. And each of my 2 tails are on my shoulders. And nice and conveniently, one is blue and one is green, so you can see that. So what I have on my back is an X. And I don't want to have any twists or turns. I want them to lay smooth. That way, if I were to pull on this part of my wrap, it should communicate right here. And if I were to pull on this part of my wrap, it should communicate right here. Basically, so that I know how to snug it up. Alright, so now I have these 2 really long tails and this midsection. I'm going to actually collect them and shove them into this purple pocket all the way down. My middle marker is kind of shifting to the side. That's okay, I have enough length that won't end up impacting me being able to use my wrap. But just for teaching, I'm just sort of sliding it back to the center so you can always see it. Okay, so I have the exact same thing going on. Purple in the middle, blue on one side, green on the other. What I'm gonna do is just sort of collect my purple middle, so it's more like a belt. Make sure all my green and blue stays up on my shoulders, out of my way. If I get it too spread out, I find this can be overwhelming. It also starts getting slack in places, so I just like it all up on my shoulders. And I'm going to take these two, and I'm going to cross them like an X. I'm going to tie them behind my back. And you want to tie a double knot. So I did one, now I'll go two. So this is basically what I'm working with. I've got this middle section and this X. So I'm going to move my purple section, this middle section, the pocket, out of my way, and I'm just going to work right now with my green and blue X here. So what I've made is a space, if you look, has a nice X right here, and I'm going to end up having baby sit on the X, and then I'm going to spread them across baby's back to support her position, and then I'm going to bring this purple middle section up to support her again. With any stretchy wrap, you want to have 3 layers over baby, and so I'm going to have 1, 2, and then 3. Now you might have heard that stretchy wraps are warm. That is kind of part of why people say that, because it is 3 layers that it's on baby, and then because you have the X going on, multiple layers on you. So if you do decide that this is a carry or a type of carry you like, but that it's not very comfortable because of the heat and we are in August, you might want to consider a lighter weight option like this Rhapsody Hybrid, or the Solly Baby or Happy Baby. You might also want to consider doing this wrap carry with a woven wrap instead of with a stretchy wrap, so that you can have a little bit more flexibility. Alright, so I'm going to get my baby. Actually, before I do that, what I want to make sure I'm looking for is where I'm starting. My green from the X is what's closest to my body, so I'm going to load my baby on the green side first. So when I pick my baby up, I'll put her on this shoulder and help guide her in. Alright, so this is Sally. She is about the size of a 3-month-old, so she's a little bit longer limbed than your newborns. So I've got her up on my blue shoulder because my green X was closest to me. I'm going to reach my hand up into that cross pass and guide her leg in. So you can see the pass is now coming to her knee pit, and she's kind of halfway in, and then I'm going to do the same with the blue. I'm going to bring my hand in and bring her leg in. Now remember, you want to make sure you maintain babies comfortable, but also remember that babies are fairly flexible, and so it's okay that you're going to move their legs a little bit. You don't have to make their legs stiff straight and try and slide them straight down in. That would be really challenging. So now I've got my baby kind of in this position where she's supported at her knee pit, and what I want to do is spread my wrap across her body. And so I'm going to start with the green. That's the side that's closest to me and also then closest to baby, and I'm going to spread the wrap from knee pit to knee pit and all across her back, right up to her shoulder, kind of underneath her earlobe. So I'm going to make sure I maintain one hand on baby, find my top rail, that's the seam closest to my neck, and I'm going to bring this over my baby's body. Okay, and you can see how I'm going all the way from the knee pit all the way across to make sure that I'm offering really good support there. And now I'm going to do the same with the blue. I'm going to reach all the way over, find my top seam, that rail, that's the seam closest to my neck, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to bring this one all the way over. So now I've got my baby in 2 layers, and if you remember with a stretchy, we need 3. And so I'm going to reach down here for my purple. This is that middle layer that I kind of put on like a belt. I'll put her baby's feet into here so that I can pull it up over her. There we go. And I'm going to bring this layer right up over my baby. Alright, so now I've got 3 layers on my baby. She's supported knee pit to knee pit by all 3 layers. And I want to take a look to make sure that I've maintained that clear airway. And so what I'm noticing here is that I'm getting a little close up to baby's face up in here. And so I can adjust that. I can move this material a little bit away from my shoulder, or away from my neck, along my shoulder. The other option you have is that you can actually flip your shoulder if need be, just by grabbing the top, the rail that's closest to your neck, and bringing it out towards your shoulder. So what I've kind of done is make like a cap sleeve, like a shirt has. And so that just sort of opens up this space since my baby's head is turned this direction. My baby still has all 3 layers, a little bit more coverage over here. If my baby were to fall asleep, I can just sort of tuck her head in here. Still, though, I have this nice clear airway that I can see. And my back is nice and spread out here so that I'm just dispersing that weight. And you can see since I kept my shoulder, I have a twist on my other shoulder, to be expected. So now my baby's comfortable, secure, I have that clear airway. If you notice that your baby feels like she's sagging, this isn't snug enough, or she's, it's not supportive enough, then when you tie it the next go, you want to tighten it. If you did need to, you could absolutely work some slack through. So if you remember, we started with our purple. So we think about our purple, working our slack around. Let me undo this cap shoulder for a sec. Work any slack you have. Make sure that I bring it down. Come under here, pull any slack I've got. Make sure that I'm still maintaining 3 layers, knee pit to knee pit. Let me pull this up just so you can see what I'm doing. So if I were to have any slack on my blue, I could pull it down here, feed it sort of along. Now I've got it over here. I could do the same thing with my green. If I have any slack, bring it down, feed it along, and then I can retighten my slack out back here. Make sure that's still knee pit to knee pit. Bring my purple back down, that way it's all covered. So normally I wouldn't bring the purple up. I could create more slack, but just so you can see what I'm doing. So you can both adjust once your baby's in, or you can adjust the next time by taking your baby out. So why do I like this carry? This is great for it being poppable, like I described. It's a really snug, very close to you carry, and so I really feel like it kind of replicates the womb a little bit. And so it's nice, it's calming, it's secure, gives baby that little bit of pressure, almost like as if you're swaddling them. It fits great for newborns, and you can do this with legs in or legs out. Sally's got long legs, so it makes more sense to do them leg out, but if your baby's all curled up, you would do the same thing. You would just maintain that their bum is what's going to go on your X, and that their knees are froggied in front of them, and then continue spreading and passing. Alright, so once your baby's done, if you do want to maintain this carry so that you can pop them in it again, maybe you're done grocery shopping, you're going to put them in their car seat. I'm going to do everything in reverse, so I'm going to bring the purple layer down, and this is the way that middle marker is. Just get it free of my baby's legs. Then I'm going to hold my baby, because now that I don't have 3 carries, my body is doing the support. Bring my blue layer over, come back, my green pass, and then I can lift my baby straight out of my carry and put baby somewhere safe. And here I want to look and say, hey, does this look kind of like what I had before? That purple belt going on, blue and green passes. I'll end up spreading this at the very end. Yeah, this is looking pretty familiar. So now I'm ready to go. So I don't even have to take it off. I can now hop in my car, drive home. When I get home, done to load groceries, pop my baby back in. So this carries pocket wrap cross carry, but keep in mind, depending on what brand product you use, the instructions might call it something else, like hug hold. And it can be done with a variety of woven or stretchy wraps. You might find a stretchy wrap more ideal for a smaller baby. Generally, they're rated for 8 to 35 pounds. However, most people find that they start feeling a little saggy around 18 pounds. The wonderful part of a stretchy wrap is that it stretches and conforms and gives you that nice secure fit. But as your baby's heavy, the stretch kind of works against you, and they feel heavy because they're sinking in that stretch, and that gives you the sag feeling. Still able to be safely used. Careful tightening and positioning, you can still do it comfortably. I know lots of people who like a stretchy for a long time, but if you're feeling that, it might be a time to upgrade to trying a woven or something that might give you a little less stretch and a little more security. Thanks.